the content.
This is my very original college magazine. This is before I'd only just started to get in grips with Photoshop, and this is in September when we only just started media. So basically it's like I had a minimal understanding of headers and text sizes, which is why in this example obviously the header size is probably a little too big than it should be in a professional magazine. But overall, I reckon the college magazine is a good size, as well as keeping all everything you need in a cover of magazines there, such as the masthead, the headers, the date, the issue number, and there are a few things missing, obviously, but the barcode's missing. But it's represented quite well, and I had quite an understanding of shot types, although this one is probably a bit small. The character obviously should have been bigger for a medium close-up, whereas it's quite far away, but it all suits a college magazine, as well as the colour scheme. I made match what the actual person was wearing and the backgrounds, which I think all worked quite well, and overall as a first attempt on Photoshop it worked well. Everything was done on Photoshop, and I took the photo on college grounds, as well as obviously just getting these logos and barcode off the internet. But overall, it was an okay. The contents page, again, I kind of tried to follow through the colour scheme, but obviously some colour matching failed. But the overall, it's a bit of an amateur attempt, considering the numbers. There's not enough on the contents page, and there's not enough going on. It's too simplistic. It doesn't look like a contents page, it's more of a list. It shouldn't be like that, which will obviously be changed when I got to my music magazine. Everything here all went well, really, considering, but compared to my magazine now, it's a bit crap, really. But my Photoshop skills have developed over time throughout all of my work. There's plenty enough, and overall, coming onto my my music magazine now, I think it all looks good. So I think it's 2013. Let it load, bear with me. It's a little bit slow. Scroll down. This is my finished cover for my music magazine. The colour scheme was kept, obviously, from the college magazine tip, but other than that, it also straight away, before I did anything, I went and got my photos, because I felt my photos were important, so I could lay out my headers and everything around them without. So if I'd drafted it first, but to make sure everything did fit and it all worked well, I took the photos first. I waited. It was I can't remember what time of year, but obviously it was quite a summery day, and we're in these woods that's been mentioned throughout the blog, and basically couldn't have asked for better weather conditions, which meant I could get any sort of lighting I wanted throughout this wood. And basically, I had already previously in my mind what the photo and the cover would look like. So you can see that I planned that I wanted these two in the foreground and these two in the background, because after looking at actually it's above me here. Looking at this was the inspiration for the photo of having the main artist in the foreground and the lesser artist in the background. So it was overall taken from that, and the colours were used because I tried to match them and make sure they would work with this burgundy, white and black colour scheme, which I'm very fond of. This is a long shot. As you see, we've got all of the characters in. The poses were all they weren't meant to look happy, but they were meant to look professional instead, whereas the college magazine one was quite happy, and it fitted the college magazine, but would never have worked on a music magazine. After I got this picture, I took it back, and obviously I've uploaded. There was a range actually. I took about a lot of pictures, about 300, and then there was 20 in the shortlist, and then this is my final one. I used it and then made sure it all worked well, and now as you can see, since the college magazine, my techniques with getting the text right, the right sizes has all changed, considering the headers are a lot smaller than they were previously, and the actual masthead has become bigger, and actually now a publication line has been applied, which wasn't previously there on the college magazine, as well as more advertising of what is in the magazine. Although I didn't want too many headers, as this would have I did try more headers, but it didn't fit. It got rid of some of the elements I'd already captured in the picture. The header of the main band, after researching the Spin magazine, I realised had to be the second biggest thing on the page after the masthead, which is why it's become so large, and also a small header to explain like just a little insight to the band and what the article is going to be about. As well as I felt it was important to any freebies or anything you could buy was important to be on the masthead, because often that attracts audiences. Not only this, but you can see my Photoshop skills overall have increased due to like the fact that my lead singer here, I've overlapped his head very delicately over the masthead, just as a little more of a style, and just to show my Photoshop skills I've like improved drastically. And it also represents the Spin magazine that I copied, not copied, analysed and influenced me. More importantly as well, actually, the barcode kind of overwhelmed the college magazine, and I didn't really like that. So obviously when we've got to this music magazine, the barcode has been drastically shrunk down, while also a small header like for the website, which I found in Empire magazines is predominant, as well as a price of both the dollars and the sterling, because well that was used throughout magazine. If it was a UK magazine, I found it was there anyway, so I felt it'd make it look more professional, as well as a date of when the issue had been released. So don't have an issue number, that is later on in the content. It's just the fact that the audience knows it's the January issue. That should be fine enough. I also, instead of having features written down here, I just had a plus sign, so also saying like, it says like almost the Aristocats plus the rest of what's seen here. Overall, I think this worked well, and I reckon the cover is like the best I could get at. I've had many variations of different like styles and colours. I did also try different colours, although they didn't work as well, and this overall is my ideal music magazine. Carry on down here. What we have here, it's not in order actually, I might as well go down and find there we go, here's my contents page. This has been drastically changed, as you can see, from the college magazine, whereas the more prominent thing is actually images are the biggest piece of this contents page. The 4 images together, that was like a design choice by me, considering, because I did analyse and get influenced by a previously made professional contents page, although it was almost like an A4 version of this. So what I did was, basically, I made it an A3 size, which obviously means there's more room for more of what's in the magazine, as well as I can advertise more pictures on the magazine. Not only this, the issue number was now added. Instead of cluttering up the cover page, sorry, it's been added to the contents to remove words from there, and also, though, to keep it professional, it has been added to the overall magazine. Also, the actual date, this is just a more precise cover, like, of what's on the cover. I added a small drop shadow to the white boxes to make it to specify that they are actually boxes there, although I didn't want just black lines. I felt this looked unprofessional and just too simple to use. So this subtle drop shadow in Photoshop was used to like predominantly show the boxes. But overall as well, not only that, there's a QR code, which that was another choice by me. I thought instead of like just going with like a website address or anything, what I'd do is QR codes seem a lot more common these days than they've ever been before. So I thought, you know what, I'll add one in. It'll add something. It's more of a technological convergence of like what's going on with the magazine, and basically, as most people nowadays have smartphones, it's used easily and it all works together very well, as well as